Hello everyone, welcome back to the Lord of the Rings Online. This is Gnarlo here. Say hello to everyone, Gnarlo. Good boy. I hope everyone has had a good holiday here. We are off work finally and gotten caught up a little bit on our sleep. Although we were spending a good deal of it. Got into a book I couldn't put down and was eating up some of my sleep time over the day yesterday. So we are here, just finished up some Yule Fest stuff, and we were back in here in the Chamber of Leadership, talking to Broger and Bori. Bori says that he believes that he has found some clues in the book of Marzarbul that will lead us possibly to some hidden armories at Oin. Oin was down in the waterworks looking for hidden armories down there. And he is saying that he thinks that that may possibly be a clue on the quest to find Ziggelberg, the Mithril axe, as I said, pseudo-legendary Mithril axe that they have found records of, and that we are trying to find to see if it will be of use to us in defeating the enemies here in Moria, especially the forces of Mazar.
The time has come to drive forth the orcs from our kingdom.
So I'm going to take a swift travel over to the Dovin View if I don't have anything that will take me further down. Dovin View, Chamber of Crossroads. Actually, I think Chamber of Crossroads. That'll take me a pretty good ways close over there to the rotting cellar, and then I can just get a ride from there. So we will see you once we get over there. And of course, I'm sure y'all had a good laugh at my mistake. It shows you I've only had one cup of coffee so far. I meant the Deep Descent, not the Chamber of the Crossroads, so I rode to the wrong place and had to take another 2 stable rides to get over here. So this time, let's make sure we're in the correct place, and let's go to the rotting cellar. Oh dear. That should do it. Now this time, we really will join you when we reach our intended destination. We have made it into the rotting cellar, finishing up our taxi ride here. And also had the good fortune as well that it has just become the gloaming. While we were out working in the winter home doing the Yule Fest stuff, it was still bright daylight, so of course we weren't going to be able to turn on our personal light here. But now that we have made it, we'll have all this time to search around down here in the waterworks with our light on, and we'll be able to see the area right around us a little bit more. Now, Bori is wanting us to find rune plaques. He's wanting us to wander around throughout the waterworks and seeing if we can find 5 rune plaques scattered about. And I would imagine, as you would see, there are a number of areas around that could be rooms. There's one over here. There's like I think the Chamber of Memory is down here. They're named various things, so we are going to wander about. There's I'm wanting to say it's the Glass Palace. Glass Palace? I keep wanting to say Crystal Palace, but no, that was the Queen Victoria celebration in London, so back in the 1800s. So it's not the Crystal Palace. I think it's the Glass Palace. But we are going to wander around and see if we can find some of these wall plaques that they're looking for. Kill a few of the monsters that may be guarding them as we come across them, and see what we can do. I mean, it's only 5 wall plaques, right? Hey, how hard can it be? And also, the whole thing with the Crystal Palace and the Glass Palace, or whatever it's called, shows the dangers and the problems of being in a situation where your mind is full of so much trivia and so much pop culture stuff that you get into a situation where you can't keep it all straight. It all starts running together after a while. Reminds me of that wonderful bumper sticker I saw. I've seen it bumper sticker, I've seen it t-shirts, I've seen it just internet memes and various varieties of it. But the one in particular I can think of was had a picture of Gandalf. And he was saying, slipped right past here, turn on our sneak. There's a picture of Gandalf, and he was saying something along the lines of "Use the Force, Luke," and the name up underneath Gandalf said Dumbledore, and it said, you know, a sure way to tick off all the all your nerd friends, all your geek friends. But I think also it is a good reflection of some of the confusion that you run into when you're going around and you've got all this assorted stuff running through your heads. All right, that door doesn't open. I said we're going to head on up these long stairs here. Show you where we are on the map. We are right up here on the northern edge. There is a area right at the top of it, one of these mansions. Oh, and let's take a look over the edge here while we're at it. But we'll do that whenever we get up here to this platform. I'm going to zoom on in into first person. See all the glass spiders here. Those remind me a lot, which I'll mention in just a second. Let's take a good look over the edge here. Isn't this a wonderful view? In fact, won't do an actual panoramic, but let's cut off the UI. And let's just scan across here and take a good look at the waterworks here, shall we? Such a wonderful place. I was so happy with Moria when it came out. Not my view of Moria, not the way that I pictured it, but a very beautiful and very legitimate view. And something, of course, similar to what Peter Jackson thought, because you know when Peter Jackson and his Lost Palace, that's what we were after, and we have discovered the Lost Palace, so we will be adding that to our travelogue. Him and his designers and all for the Lord of the Rings movie anyway, whenever they designed Moria, and it was more a series of huge caverns with, there's the room plaque, I thought there'd be one up here, and it was much more a series of large caverns with buildings and cities built into them. But for the moment, let's take a moment and let's talk about the Lost Palace here, shall we? The Lost Palace. Whether this dilapidated structure was ever truly a palace is hard to say. Time and moisture have taken their tolls, and anything of value was either stolen or rusted away long ago. It might have once housed the dwarves responsible for administering the great waterworks that stretch out of sight from the steps of this building. And that gets us to Lost Palace, and we have now found 6 of the 10 locations that we have to find to finish finding all the parts of the waterworks here. But let's take a look at this room plaque. This plaque once identified the room beyond, but it is now cracked and broken. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. Alright, so we have memorized one of the room plaques. Get back into sneak mode as soon as we can. There we go. And we'll just wander in here and take a look at the room beyond it too. There you are. If I remember right, that stairs that go down to a lower location that I believe has like maybe a queen spider or something like that down there that you have to take on and kill. But we are going to continue wandering about. I'm going to head over to that direction toward the Vile Maw next and take a look and see if there's a plaque over there. And then we will continue coming on around and seeing if we can round up all of them here. There we go. See, the backside's just a sloping ramp. You don't have to get through all that. These glass spiders, however, that's what I was going to say, they remind me so much of something back in EverQuest. Those of you that played EverQuest way back in the day will remember when the Shadows of Velius came in. Scars of Velius, which was the big ice, mostly frozen continent. I always compared it to Antarctica. But there was the... Oh, let me speak back there. Alrighty. Sorry, I was having to throw a message back to a friend. But the Scars of Velius, there was the laboratory of, it was something like Laboratory of Velator, something along those lines, which was one of the kind of the upper end dungeons that you could get back in. And if you remember, it was covered in ice. It was totally a frozen location, had all these icy ramps that you had to climb up. And on all these icy ramps were these ice spiders. And the ice spiders looked almost exactly like these glass spiders here. They were all these translucent, whitish blue spider shapes. Very dangerous. Very mean and rotten. There we go. There's the Vile Maw and everything over there. We will head on over this way till we get to it, making sure we don't miss any other little locations in these little nooks and crannies. But that's what I see every time I see the glass spiders down in this area. Always brings back some wonderful nostalgia for all the time that I spent up on all those slippery, ice-covered platforms fighting those spiders and the various goblins and gnolls and things that were in there back with my guild. Back with the Tangled Web and what did we have? Twisted Fates is the other group we had joined up to back then. And all the dangers that you had, because those, if you ran too fast and didn't keep your footing, you would fall off those ice things and fall to your death, or fall into the middle of a bunch of spiders down there. It was a fun place. I did enjoy the Scars of Velius. Okay, well, nothing here at the Maw, so we're going to continue around. I think we're going to head on over there to the Great Wheel next. And we will rejoin you when we find some more plaques. So we'll see you in a bit. All right, everyone. While we were wandering around, we are just a short ways down from the Vile Maw, about halfway between it and the Great Wheel over here. There's the Great Wheel building that you remember, the wheel out on the front and the various water wheels up on top of it and gears and all that we've seen. Right over yonder is the big tall tower that the well from the Chamber of the Crossroads falls down next to. And we found this particular door. So we are gonna go on into it. And we are in the Chamber of Wheels. Oops, let's turn our sneak back on. We're in the Chamber of Wheels. It's been a long time since I've been down in here. Long time back with my my dwarf. So we are going to wander in here and see if we can find a plaque anywhere, because this is definitely the kind of area where you would think you would find that sort of thing. Once again, just look at the beauty of all the work. Look at the light reflection shimmering on the roof there, on the ceiling. Isn't that gorgeous? All the moldy slime-colored brickwork and all. Once again, like I said, they've put so much work into these areas. And so many people just fly through them. Just as quickly as possible. Okay, let's see. Now, I remember that thing over there being the big rusted wheel and all. Let's head over there and see if there's a plaque. Let's also... And here we are. Let's also remember that, okay, if we're there, it's going to be back over here to the left where we find the exit. Okay, because I do remember that being difficult to find because of the fog and the water and all coming down. I'm wondering if this place in particular... Yeah, you see, it's a little harder. Well, it's been lit up a little bit. Yeah. Used to be a lot harder to find that stairwell right there. And the exits out of here because it was a lot darker. It's still pretty dark, though. You could still wander around wondering which one you get out of. It's right over there. Okay. Do you see any plaques anywhere? I was hoping that there would be a plaque or something in here. Indrid, how are you, Indrid? Look at that water wheel spinning like crazy. I see no plaque, so I don't know if there are any here in this area. Wow. Love the great dwarven engineering there. Let's go ahead and... Okay, we're not able to turn that or anything. That's what Indrid has to say to us.
What foul and nameless things we face in Moria, I know not.
Gumming up the works. Well now, you can see that this place is in a state unfitting for a dwarf like myself. Too many leaks and not enough production. Add to that all the toads and lizards skittering about, and, well, I'm sure you understand what I mean. I suspect that the toads and lizards are being pulled along with the currents and getting stuck in the pipes, gumming them up. Do me a favor and thin out the numbers here and in the waterworks surrounding the Great Wheel. Then return to me. We will see if we can get these pipes working as they should. So he's giving us a quest to go forth and defeat 8 of each toads and lizards here. We'll go ahead and accept it. I don't think we're going to work on it right now because we are definitely looking for areas that have plaques and stuff. And I was hoping that down in here this room might be one of those areas. But we might kill some on our way back out. Can't get out through there. We got to head to this corner. And there are the stairs that we can take up. Alright. And Lord knows there's no shortage of volunteers here, are there? Won't we go ahead and take out this one? We're not going to devote ourselves to trying to finish off this quest. But if we kill a few on our way out of the passageway here, well, that will work out okay, will it not? And plus, let's see if this frog gives us the pretty colors again here in a second. Yep, there we go. We're seeing the colors. Ooh. I'm starting to be able to taste plaid. Come on. There you go. Stop moving already. Okay. There we go. Okay, I'm going to work my way on out through here. There's probably a couple more I'll be able to fight right here at the end. And we'll see you when we get back out into where the Great Flooded Cavern is. Alrighty? I see a plaque flashing in the darkness before us. See, we're in that far bottom right corner there. We did go all around the Great Wheel Down over here, we went around the Great Wheel, on top of the Great Wheel, everything else we could do over at the Great Wheel, and there was nothing there, but we have found one down here. And what does it say? Alright, we have memorized another rune plaque. While we are memorizing that rune plaque, let's go inside this room here and see what this is. Like I said, I'm wondering, is this the Hall of Memory? Chamber of Memory. There we go. We will add that. And we will also have a quick look around and see if there are any other plaques inside here as well. I'm not sure there will be. I'm thinking this is once some kind of like a library or records depository of some sort. Let's see what kind of thing there is here. We have these, there was some kind of dais or podium or platform there. But that's the problem you run into with this lower deep all having flooded like this. I do not see any more plaques here. So, we will head on back. I believe there should be another one. Off to our right over here, there should be a plaque at that chamber as well. And in the meantime, we will take a quick look at the Chamber of Memory here. The Chamber of Memory. Dwarf scholars believe that the Chamber of Memory was so named because it held a great repository of books and scrolls, storing many of the more mundane records of Khazad-dûm. If it indeed ever held such records, they have either been stolen away or were destroyed when the waterworks flooded after the kingdom's fall. We are going to continue right on out of the chamber there. You see, that's the Chamber of Memory there. Definitely more to it up above. It would be so nice if some of these places could have been extended and expanded and all that, but it would also be nice if I were to ride a unicorn to work every morning and that crapped out soft serve ice cream too, wouldn't it? But what are the chances of that happening? Alright, I am going to follow up these winding passages here up to the top and see if there is any plaques up there. And if there are, we will let you know. Once again, this is an episode of a lot of walking around and just going into every nook and cranny like this and looking to make sure there aren't any plaques. So we will see you when we reach the top up here. And coming up to the top, we have indeed found one right up there. Let's see what this place is going to be. And see whether or not we'll end up putting a travelogue entry on it as well. Alright, let's get this room plaque. Center on in here. What have we found here? The Lost Treasury. Alright, this is yet another one of the dungeons, I do believe. The Lost Treasury here. I believe it's one of the instance dungeons. Let's walk up to it. You do not have permission to use that. Okay, we may not be high enough to actually use the Lost Treasury. Let's see here. Instances. Isn't there an instance finder? There we go. Specific. Let's see. Moria. The Forgotten Treasury, not the Lost Treasury. Wonder if that must be related to an actual quest that we'll have to come across then. Maybe this one right here. And maybe what that sign says. Maybe he's saying the Lost Treasury, and that might be one of the places that Oin was looking. So do not be surprised if sometime soon we end up traveling back over here. As soon as we go and report back to Bori about all the plaques. I definitely don't think we're going to find anything over in... Definitely don't think we're going to find anything over in the Glass Palace. Doesn't look like there was anything right down there in the Chamber of Memory. So, let's once again take just a great look at the vista here. cut off the UI and just stretch out and see Moria here. As you can see, there's more of it back there that we can't actually get to. You know, the chamber continues out there, and you can see some more structures and all, so it would be so nice if this had been able to be expanded and everything. Let's take a look out. Look at all the aqueducts going in every direction. Nice, nice, isn't it? All right, we are going to see about making our way back down this winding set of ramps and back down to the floor. And I'm pretty sure I know where another one is. You see where we are here. And right there is the lost treasury. I believe there should be one almost directly underneath us, right over in like this area down on the floor there. So that is where we're going to head next. And we will see you when we get back down over there. Okay, this area ahead of us here is the area I was speaking of. You'll see all the fungus and everything growing. We just came down. Right there's that ramp we came down. Chamber of memory back behind it there. Waterworks on back over that way. Or the Great Wheel, rather. As you see, lots and lots of this fungus and everything here. And with the fungus comes these globsnagas. These are the orcs down in this area who have been taken over by the fungus that has grown and basically, as you see, taken over their bodies. Think of something like the, okay, and I'm thinking there's a plaque. Yep, there we go. Show where we are now. Told you it was almost directly below us. Think of the fungus that would take over ants and control their brain. That was the inspiration for the fungus in The Last of Us. Alright, memorized another room plaque. And let's go in and see what this room is, shall we? That gives us one more room plaque to find. Okay, the Chamber of Dark Waters. And one thing about the Chamber of Dark Waters is not on this side. Actually, I think that's a piece of something right there, like a statue piece or something, that we may have to come back and get. If you remember that, yeah, there we go. There's the statue torso piece. I knew there was a statue piece in here. I'm wanting to say that piece over there to the right is something as well. Can we grab that? Yes, we can. Talk to a Guti in the rotting cellar. And a dwarf named Uxie. Yeah, we never did go see Uxie, did we? We need to talk to Uxie. That guy. See there, Kraybag. We've got to come back and fight him at some point. He is like a boss guy. That is for one of the quests down here in the waterworks. So that's where you find him. Wow, look at all those bones. Look at all the various bones and skeletons stuck in these mounds of fungus that have grown up along here. Okay, let's work our way back out of the Globsnaga camp here. We have got to find one more. Ooh, we can't get through right there, huh? With all the fungus across it. Yeah, we got to go through one of the actual clear spaces. Okay, we have got one more plaque to find, and I am genuinely at a loss right now. I'm going to search along this area, and then we will search over here. Actually, I think I'll come here and search. I think I'm going to come there and search. If you remember it, that big thing right there that we were hunting the goblin runners on. I'm going to go search around it and around the top of it first and see if there's a plaque there. And then, if we can't find a plaque there, then we will start looking at all these little nooks and crannies and corners. So let us go and circle around the top of it. I don't remember what the name of it is. But hopefully, remember there was a room on top that we could not enter. There was a doorway that went into somewhere, that we weren't allowed to enter. It said we didn't have the corresponding quest or something. So let's go on up and take a look at it. And see if perhaps it might have a... It might have a plaque that will tie it into this quest.